Hey, so welcome back to my channel. I am Nurse Jackie. I know it's been a while. I don't think I've recorded anything in about a month and a half, but hey, we are now in 2024. Happy New Year. And we survived 2023. I finished 2023 out strong. Recap. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jackie. I first started the channel. It was kind of following along my journey from becoming a labor and delivery nurse to becoming a women's health nurse practitioner. I graduated as a women's health nurse practitioner in May of 2022, and I became a certified nurse practitioner, I think in December of 2022. So I graduated in May of 2022. I didn't officially become a board certified women's health NP until October or November of 2022. So that's from May to, that was a couple of months. It was a bit of a journey. I recorded and talked about that in some of those videos before. You can go and watch those. But after some trials and tribulations, I became board certified. So that was at the end of 2022. And then I didn't actually start working as a women's health NP until September 5th of 2023. So yeah, it's been a long journey, and I recorded and brought you guys along for majority of that journey. So go back and watch all those videos so you can catch up and know what we're talking about and why we're also invested and excited about the start of 2024. And I have now been working as a women's health NP for 4 months. It feels like so much longer, but I've been working as a women's health NP for 4 months, and I've done a lot. So since the last time I talked to y'all, so I was doing weekly updates, right, when I first got started. Then it became a little bit repetitive. I mean, women's health NP, we're doing a lot of well woman exams, a lot of birth control talks, a lot of OB visits, all of those things. And since the last time I talked to y'all, I've done a whole lot of well woman exams. I've done a whole lot of pellet insertions again, which, if you remember, I love the hormone replacement therapy. I love the pellet insertions as a great component of the hormone replacement therapy. I've done some insertions on some close friends and family. I've become friends with some of the patients that I've done some insertions on. Let's see, some cool things I've done since the last time I talked to y'all. I'm doing a lot more IUD insertions and, of course, removals, but insertions. I have done some Nexplanon removals, which is pretty tricky. So inserting the Nexplanon, which is a birth control device that we put in your arm, putting it in is real simple. Taking it out can be a little tricky. So I've done that. I've been credentialed. I think the last time I talked to y'all, we had finally submitted all of the credentialing stuff. And the credentialing process, y'all, it's a bit of a headache, right? So we submitted everything at the end of last year. And I was like, okay, so all the hard work is done. No. So it's still a process. So my clinic, we have privileges at 2 different hospitals. So both hospitals I've submitted everything, but only one, a whole month later, only one has actually credentialed me. So yay, I am credentialed at one office, and I finally got my badge, I think right at the beginning of the new year. So I got my badge for one hospital. I'm still working on getting like computer access and all that stuff so I can actually round on patients. And well, I can round, but so that I can actually chart on the patients that I round on. But the other hospital, I am still waiting on credentialing from them. Just today, actually, they asked me if I had the flu shot. I'm like, are we still doing that part? So I got the flu shot today at work, just so I could say yes, submit that, and hopefully that's all they need, and they can go ahead and credential me. Because I mean, I will definitely have to do a video, its own video, all about the credentialing process, because nobody told me about this in school. And I don't think a lot of people know about the whole process, what to expect, how long it will take, just the things to help make it smoother. So I will definitely do a video about the whole credentialing process, just so the next person is more prepared. Did get to do an endometrial biopsy. So I am now checked off to do endometrial biopsies. I'm checked off to do Nexplanons. I'm checked off to do IEDs. I'm pretty much checked off to do everything except for a colposcopy. All right, so in order to do a colposcopy, which a colposcopy is when you take a little piece, sounds more gruesome, but when you take a little piece of the cervix and you send it to get tested. In order to do a colposcopy, I will have to attend a training class, but other than a colposcopy, I've been pretty much trained off to do anything else in the office. I've been learning and doing a lot this past month and a half, and I will be more intentional about coming back on here and telling you guys about it, and especially, you know, the quote unquote cool things. I will do other videos that specifically talk about what each of these things are, like what is a colposcopy, what is an endometrial biopsy. I think I'll just do a video that just goes more in depth into those procedures. But yeah, I mean, your girl is getting, you know, checked off to do all these procedures. I will do the training for the colposcopy, because I would, you know, I would just really enjoy being able to do everything, a lot of things. I mean, I don't want to be just tied down to one thing. So in the office, I am the nurse that does majority of the hormone patients. I do a lot of the fertility patients, but I can also do other procedures. I'm doing a lot more IEDs. I'm also doing the endometrial biopsies, and for credentialing for the other hospital that I'm still working on, they needed me to have so many Nexplanons under my belt, because I really had no intention on even doing Nexplanons, at least not right now. But they needed me to have so many under my belt before they can finalize my credentialing process. So that's really what got me started. Yeah, so my supervising doctor was like, well, let's get them done. And so every time he has them, he calls me in, and after I watched him do the first couple, I do them. It is super easy to put in, not that easy to take out. So, but a lot of patients love it. So I mean, we still do them. I think the office I'm at now is one of the few offices where we still do all of the birth control options. A lot of doctors keep it simple, just do like the pill or IEDs. We have options. So I've had a lot of great patient interaction, and I've also had some like, oh, that's what we're doing type of interactions, and then I've had some, God, please help me to say the nice thing type of interactions, right? There was this one day where so you know, we know what our patients are coming in for, or what, you know, their main complaint is, right? So I'm going over my notes. It was a new patient, and she was coming in for a well woman exam. Didn't have very many notes to go over, and I think she was coming in for a well woman exam. I don't remember now, but I went in, I talked to her. I'm like, hey, you know, I addressed her by name, and I was like, how are you? I am Jackie, one of the providers here. The same way I introduced myself to everybody. And we started talking, and I was like, oh, so you're here for a well woman exam? And she was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I asked her a few questions. And then, so typically for a well woman exam, before I get started with the actual exam, I ask the patient, is there any concerns or anything you wanted to discuss? So I asked this patient this, and she says, well, I mean, I'm just here for a typical exam. But she sits back, right, crosses her legs, and she says, you tell me about you. And so, you know, I was in a good mood. I was like, so, like, are you interviewing me? And she was like, actually, I am. And I was like, oh, I was a little taken aback. But you know, she was like, I've come to this practice for many years, right? She hadn't been since COVID. And so when she was finally returning, it had been over 3 years, so we consider her a new patient now. But so when she was finally returning, she said, I asked for who I normally see, and that person was no longer there. So then I had to decide, I had to just pick somebody. And so she was like, I picked you. Now you tell me about your. She was like, I read your bio on the company website, so you tell me about yourself. So I was like, so you really about to interview me? And she was serious. And so I guess I kind of had to sell myself to her. And I thought that was odd, but it was a little bold of her. But I mean, I kind of applaud her for that. Because how many times do we go to a doctor and we're like, we just sit there and we're like, I don't know, I don't really know if I like this doctor. Or we just, we just go and get the exam over with. She wanted to make sure that she likes her provider, and I don't fault her for that. I thought that was actually kind of cool. Anyways, I guess it was safe to say I got the job. By the end of the visit, we were cool. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to tell my friend it's okay for her to come here. I was like, well, you go ahead and do that. I had another patient. This was a fertility patient. And I don't know, I don't remember how the conversation came about, but she said something that made me ask her, oh no, okay. We were talking about the providers at the office and how whenever you make an appointment, they're going to put you with somebody who has an availability. And so she said, can she request me? And I was like, well, as long as I have availability on that day, then there's no issue. They should be able to put you with me. But if I'm not there the day that you can come in, then they'll put you with somebody else. And then she said, because I looked on the website and I picked you specifically. And I mean, to be honest, I was having a busy day. So I wasn't my normal, joyful, happy-go-lucky self in the room with her. So that kind of caught me off guard. And I was like, well, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, why'd you pick me? Because I don't remember why. It must have been one of those days. I don't know what was going on for me. Because I was like, why'd she pick me? And so I asked her, I was like, why did you pick me? And then so she said that she read my bio. And it was just something about it, right? Or she said that the experience that I had, and so she knew that I was fairly new to the office, but she was like my background, and she was like, it was just something about you. So I was like, okay. So then, I kind of told her that a lot of the people in the office have labor and delivery experience and this and that, but she was like, no, it was something about you. So I was like, it felt good because whatever I was going through that day, I kind of needed to hear that. And so it just felt good to hear. And it made me realize that I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? I'm pursuing my calling. I'm working in my calling, and it's just something about me that's drawing people to me. And a lot of people are reading my bio, and I didn't write the bio per se, right? That those words that are used in the bio are words that I did use myself. It was used in my resume and in my cover letter, because I finally went back and looked at the website to see exactly what is in this bio. The picture is horrible. I've already asked management to change it. I don't know when they'll get around to it, but the bio, I mean, it does sound pretty good. And I was like, oh, so the bio came from pieces from my cover letter, plus pieces from my resume, plus some things that I verbally said in the interview. And I was like, okay, they just took all of me, everything that I say, whether it's written down or verbally, and made it into a bio. And I was like, I mean, that with favor on top of it, I guess is drawing people to me. And so I'm just staying prayerful and always grateful, always thankful for this opportunity, and just sometimes still surprised at what I get to do and who I get to touch and talk to and help. And it's humbling. I'm doing a lot that I didn't even think I would get to do. And I don't take it for granted. I love my job. I still do. And I look forward to it. Today was actually a freeze or a snow day in Houston, so everywhere was closed today. And so we were all hoping that we would be closed in the office today too. And then this morning, I was like, I was hoping that we would be closed, but then it was like the Holy Spirit put this patient's name in my head because I was supposed to be seeing this patient today. And the name, like first and last name, fully just came to my mind. And I was like, but if the office were closed today, this person would not be able to come to the office today. And this person needed to come to the office today because for one, it's a fertility patient. And so a lot is writing on each appointment, right? And so when I was reminded of that, I couldn't even get mad that, the office was open and we had to work today. I was just like, I thank God that I'm in the position that I get to make such a big impact in people's lives. And I'm just, thank God that I have a job anyways, right? So I couldn't even get mad that I had to be at work while the rest of Houston was closed, but it's all good. But yeah, 4 months in, I'm still loving my job. I'm doing a lot, but I'm still learning a lot. I actually have an IUI procedure tomorrow. It's another fertility patient, and so I'm just praying that everything goes well. It's ultimately in God's hands, but God did give us ways and techniques and procedures to help assist with different things. So, we do what we can, and what we can't do, we leave up to God. So, but yeah, it's going good. It's still going good. I promise, I will get back on here and start doing more regular videos. Probably not weekly, but try and get back on here more frequently. If there's anything that you want me to talk about specifically, let me know in the comments, and I will definitely address those first and make videos about those first. Any questions you have for me, it could be labor and delivery, because I have 9 years of labor and delivery experience. It could be questions about inductions. It could be questions about prenatal care. It could be questions about anything OB-GYN. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody who can get me the answer. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, go back and watch all my other videos so you can get caught up. If you're one of my oldies, one of my friends on here, you know a little bit, and you have some questions, or you just want an update, or just want to say Happy New Year, you go ahead and do that in the comments. But yeah, I'll be back on here soon with more updates.